Hey guys, it's Scott and Lauren from the Iron Will Strength Studio. We are here for our round 2 Q&A series.
So we got a question through Facebook about how many times is it suggested to be strength training a week and rest periods in between sessions. And we're talking about strength training specifically, not necessarily additional cardio or additional activity.
Okay.
So someone who is new and wondering how many times
is once a week good? Is 5 days a week good?
Right.
So number one, I think it all depends on what your program is and what you're actually doing. Okay. So for example, old school kind of bodybuilder split mentality was when you break up the body parts. Okay. So for example, if you have an old hypertrophy bodybuilding, Schwarzenegger plan is chest and back on one day, legs on the next day, arms on the next day. So you're doing, an hour and a half of a single body part maybe on a day. The thought process then was only do it maybe once every 5 days, maybe once a week, because you are bombing that body part and it's going to require 5, 6, 7 days to recover.
Sure.
Now, if you look at, take an athlete's training, they typically do more full body.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at even an athletic performance, like even a football game or something like that, full body is being worked, and they might do that daily or every other day. Okay?
Yeah.
So I think the real variable is how intensely are we training?
Mm-hmm.
Are we training full body or just individual body parts? And are you a beginner or an advanced trainee?
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of variables, but I'll try to not confuse you more with that answer, is just say, generally speaking, I think in our, kind of realm of our typical clientele and the way that we train, most of our workouts have a full body feel to them that might emphasize pushing, pulling, hips.
Yeah.
So we do not overtrain certain movements, but in general, we create our programs so that they can be done frequently, because I think people need to train kind of as frequently as possible to, one, make it a habit,
Sure.
make it something that they get used to doing regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it feels good to train. I think people like the endorphin release and the experience of training frequently. I think most people's problem is they don't work out enough, right? Your average person doesn't work out at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the fear of overtraining is probably a little bit exaggerated. I think it's and again, most people who are at a beginner, intermediate, advanced level that we see are not training at such a high intensity that they're having trouble recovering from.
Okay. Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
A high level athlete, bodybuilders who are training really hard with really heavy weights and really breaking down the body and muscle tissue, they have to be more aware of recovery.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for our purposes, we like to see people in, I think 3 times a week is average, pretty good, right? I think if you're very dedicated and serious and I want to be on the accelerated plan, we're looking at 4, maximum 5 times. If you're minimum, super busy, can barely get here, maybe it's not in my budget, I'd say 2 is the minimum, right? Anything less than twice a week, you're kind of starting over each week. Unless you're an athlete that's doing a lot of other things, and your once a week strength is at least maintaining your strength throughout your lacrosse season, right? So you've built a lot of strength over the summer, and now you hit once a week full body just to maintain the strength. But if we're trying to get stronger, get fitter, get leaner, minimum 2, optimal 3, 4, aggressive is 5.